औज़ुबिल्लाहि मिनश्शैतानिर्रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। Dear student, Assalamu alaikum. Uh, this is our lecture on drug design or rational approach. Today we will discuss mechanism of action of anti-diabetic agents. Because the diabetes is the very common disease among the people, and it is the second largest disease in the world, which causing serious health problems, because diabetes is a state of the body which is causing other diseases like cardiovascular diseases, hypertension. A lot of other diseases are associated with the diabetes. Our today key concepts of the lectures are mechanism of action of diabetes mellitus. DM stand for diabetes mellitus. And what is diabetes, what is the mechanism of diabetes, and here I will show you some examples. What are the compounds which are used as anti-diabetic agents, and how they regulate the glucose level in the body, because actually diabetes is the regulation of glucose level in the body. As the glucose level increases or decreases, the decrease in glucose level is called hypolipidemia or hypoglycemia, and the increase in blood glucose level is called hyperglycemia. These are the conditions which are associated with diabetes. Now move towards the definition of diabetes mellitus. Diabetes mellitus, it is a metabolic disorder. जो diabetes mellitus है, it is a metabolic disorder. In our body there is metabolism. When we eat, then metabolism start, means things are going to be converted into different substances, like when we are taking food, we just like we are doing breakfast, then this is converted into many other carbohydrates, proteins. This is the mechanism in the body. The mechanism of the body which is associated with the different food particles is called metabolic disorder. Metabolism is a phenomena in the body which is due to different functions of the body. In our body, a lot of functions are present, like pancreas do something, liver do something, similarly gallbladder do something, and on the other hand, a lot of in our mouth. Uh, Actually, metabolism started from the mouth, because it is the digestive system from the mouth. That is why diabetes mellitus means it is a metabolic disorder characterized by hyperglycemia, glycosuria, and ketoanemia. यूजुअली जो डायबिटीज़ है इसको हम हाइपरग्लिसीमिया कहते हैं, लो डायबिटीज़ को हाइपोग्लिसीमिया कहते हैं, या इसको हम कहते हैं ग्लाइकोसोयूरिया, because when metabolism start, sometimes extra urea is produced during the glycolysis, and ketoanemia, sometimes ketone bodies are excreted from the urine, and it also causes serious health hazard. That is why this is the definition of diabetes. Diabetes mellitus, it is a metabolic disorder characterized by hyperglycemia, glycosuria, glycoso means this is the glycolysis. During glycolysis, urea is produced in the body. Urea produces arthritis, a lot of other diseases, and then ketoanemia. Ketoanemia is also a condition in which some ketone bodies are produced in the are excreted in the urine. This is the definition of diabetes. Pathophysiology of the diabetes mellitus. A widespread and pathological changes is thickening of capillary basement membrane, increase in let me show you pointer. A widespread pathological change is thickening of capillary based membrane, increase in vessel wall, matrix, and cellular proliferation, resulting in vascular complications like lumen narrowing, early arteriosclerosis, sclerosis of glomerular capillaries, retinopathy, neuropathy, peripheral vascular insufficiency. These are the conditions which are associated with the pathophysiology of the diabetes. Means pathophysiology is the etiology of disease. Means when the diabetes is caused, what are the complications which are associated with the diabetes mellitus are lumen narrowing. Sometimes our in our body the lumen wall start to narrowing means जो कैपिलरीज होती हैं कैपिलरीज उनकी जो बेसमेंट मेम्ब्रेन है वो थिकने शुरू हो जाती है और थिकने शुरू होती है मोटाई में जहर जब मोटी होगी तो उसकी में क्या हो जाएगी वो नैरो हो जाएगी उसमें से ब्लड सप्लाई बहुत बड़ी मुश्किल से होता है दैट्स वाई जो डायबिटीज़ होता है वो हाइपरटेंशन होता है मीन्स उसमें हाइपरटेंशन ज़रूर होगी इफ़ ए पेशेंट इज़ डायबिटिक ही विल बी आल्सो हाइपरटेंशन मीन्स उसमें हाई ब्लड प्रेशर होगा देन अर्ली अथीरोस्क्लेरोसिस सेक्लोसिस एथेरोस्क्लेरोसिस मीन्स इसमें ये होता है कि भाई जो स्किन है वो ब्राइटनेस उसमें आ जाती है क्योंकि उसमें जो ग्लूकोज का लेवल हाई हो जाता है बिकॉज जो ग्लूकोज है इट इज़ नॉट गोइंग टू बी यूज्ड इन द बॉडी फंक्शंस दैट इज सेक्लोसिस ऑफ ग्लोमेरुलर कैपिलरीज जो ग्लोमेरुलर कैपिलरीज हैं उनमें सेक्लोसिस हो जाती है वो भी सही तरीके से दे आर नॉट गोइंग टू filter the blood that is why ketoanemia state is produced because glomerular is not working properly then retinopathy and neuropathy retinopathy means sometimes it causes eye blindness because this is the effect of the sugar effect of diabetes retinopathy means this is the retina इसमें सिकुड़ जाता है रिटिनोपैथी मीन क्योंकि इसमें ब्लड सप्लाई सही जाती नहीं है क्योंकि उसकी जो कैपिलरीज की वाल थिक हो जाती हैं इसलिए उसमें रिटिनोपैथी हो जाती है देन न्यूरोपैथी मीन्स नर्व्स का कंट्रैक्शन होना नर्व्स कंट्रैक्ट हो जाती है दैट्स वाई इट काजेस ए लॉट ऑफ मीन्स इसमें जो कहने का मतलब ये है जो नर्व्स की डिजीज़ हैं जिसमें आर्थराइटिस है रोमेटॉइड आर्थराइटिस है ऑस्टियोमाइलाइटिस है बहुत सी चीज़ें हो जाती हैं देन पेरिफेरल वेस्कुलर इनसफिशिएंसी तो वेस्कुलर इनसफिशिएंसी हो जाती है पेरिफेरल के ऊपर तो ये पैथोफिजियोलॉजी ऑफ डायबिटीज ग्लाइकोसाइलेशन ऑफ टिश्यू प्रोटीन्स ड्यू टू persistent exposure to high glucose concentration and the accumulation of larger quantities of sorbitol or reduced product of glucose in tissues are believed to be causative in the pathological changes of the diabetes means जो इम्पॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है कि इन्हांस ग्लाइकोसाइलेशन ऑफ टिश्यू प्रोटीन्स ड्यू टू परसिस्टेंट एक्सपोजर टू हाई ग्लूकोज कंसनट्रेशन क्योंकि हर वक्त प्रोटीन जो है ना वो एक्सपोज हो रही है हाई ग्लूकोज लेवल पे एंड द एक्यूमुलेशन ऑफ लार्जर क्वांटिटीज ऑफ सार्बिटोल इज अ टाइप ऑफ कार्बोहाइड्रेट a reduced product of glucose sorbitol is the it can be asked you in the question that what is sorbitol it is a reduced form of glucose reduced form of fructose बहुत से ऑप्शन में अगर आपको याद होगा तो it is a reduced form of glucose in tissues are believed to be causative in the pathological changes of diabetes are believed to be causative in the pathological changes of diabetes क्योंकि पैथोलॉजी में जो पैथोलॉजिकल चेंजेस हैं डायबिटीज़ में उनमें we see that accumulation of larger quantity of sorbitols is occur. It is usually monitored with different blood testing and urine testing. Symptoms of diabetes mellitus these are the first symptom blurry vision means sometimes के इसमें जो आपकी आंख का मसला है साइट का प्रॉब्लम हो जाता है ब्लोरी विजन मीन्स आपको चीज़ें धुंधली नज़र आती हैं यू सी नॉट क्लियरली फ्रिक्वेंट यूरिनेशन बार बार पेशाब आना फ्रिक्वेंट यूरिनेशन कहलाता है tingling in hands and feet sometimes there is problem with hands and knees it called tingling and then sudden weight loss Actually, sometimes weight is also gained due to diabetes, but usually condition that weight certain weight loss occur in the diabetes. Always hungry, the person who is in diabetes is always hungry, he always need food, always thirsty. This is the main symptom that a person who is going to develop in the diabetes, he will be always thirsty. Wounds take time to heal. Mean if you got any wounds on the body, it will take long time to heal. These are the basic symptoms of diabetes mellitus. Glycosuria, then how glucose is going to be filtered. You can see this is the osmolarity and molarity, osmotic diuresis. It occur in the body. This is a membrane. This is the movement of glucose from the area of higher concentration to the area of lower concentration. This is called osmomolality or osmolarity. Water is going to be reabsorbed, and osmotic diuresis result means increased blood pressure, increased blood glucose, glomerular filtration of glucose, osmotic pressure of renal tubular fluid, then water reabsorption, and then osmotic uresis. These are the glycosuria. How glycosuria is produced during the diabetes? This is the just a simple flow sheet diagram. You can see that as the blood glucose increase, then there is glomerular filtration of glucose. ग्लूकोज की जो ग्लोमेरुलर फिल्ट्रेशन स्टार्ट हो जाती है, if the glomerular once glomerular filtration start, then osmotic pressure of the renal tubular fluids start. As the osmotic pressure of the renal tubular start, then water reabsorption occur. At the water reabsorption occur, then osmotic diuresis result. Osmotic diuresis is the result of glycosuria. Two types of major diabetes mellitus. Type 1, this is insulin dependent diabetes mellitus. This is called IDDM. IDDM stand for insulin dependent diabetes mellitus. Juvenile onset diabetes mellitus. This is the juvenile onset diabetes mellitus. There is a beta cell destruction in the pancreatic islets. Majority of the cases are autoimmune. Type 1A, antibodies that destroy beta cells are detectable in the blood. In all type 1 cases, circulating insulin levels are low and patients are more prone to ketosis. This type is less common and has a low degree of genetic predisposition. This type is less common and has a low degree of genetic predispositions, means there is no inheritance in type 1. Type 1 usually occur due to destruction of beta cells of islets of Langerhans. Islets of Langerhans are present in the pancreas of the beta cells. These beta cells are usually detectable in the blood. In all type 1 cases, circulating insulin levels are low, because in the next slide you will see that what is the main mechanism of diabetes, how it is developed in the body. I will show you in the next slides. Insulin enters the bloodstream. This is the mechanism. This is the normal use of glucose you are taking. This is cell nucleus. You can see that insulin leaves bloodstream and binds to the cell, and here insulin enters the bloodstream from the pancreas. Glucose enters bloodstream from the digestive system and liver. Both things are simultaneously produced in the body, means insulin enters the bloodstream from the pancreas and glucose enters bloodstream from the digestive system and liver. When they combine together, then insulin leaves the bloodstream and binds to the cell. Sometimes insulin binds to the cell and normal use of glucose occur, and healthy balance of glucose and insulin circulates in the bloodstream. There is a dynamic equilibrium between the two, means जितना इंसुलिन पैदा होती है उतना ग्लूकोज पैदा होता है, और इंसुलिन ग्लूकोज को इनगल्फ करने के बाद वो सेल के साथ अटैच हो जाती है, and in response to insulin, cell takes up glucose which is used as a fuel. In response to insulin, cell takes up glucose तो इंसुलिन के रिस्पांस में क्या करते हैं, सेल्स टेक्स अप ग्लूकोज विच इज़ यूज्ड एज फ्यूल, जो कि फ्यूल के तौर पे काम करते हैं। मीन्स और हम हमारी बॉडी को काम करने की ज़रूरत है, ऑल टाइम वी आर वर्किंग, दैट इज़ वाई जो हमारी वर्किंग कैपेसिटी है, जो हमारे वर्क करने की एबिलिटी है, जो एनर्जी है, दिस इज़ द ग्लूकोज। वो ग्लूकोज कहाँ से आता है कि सबसे पहले वो इंसुलिन एंटर होती है ब्लड स्ट्रीम में, देन जो होता है वो ग्लूकोज एंटर्स होता है डाइजेस्टिव सिस्टम थ्रू लिवर से, एंड देयर इज़ अ हेल्दी बैलेंस बिटवीन इंसुलिन एंड द ग्लूकोज। अगर ये हेल्दी बैलेंस ना हो, ये बैलेंस डिस्टर्ब, तो डायबिटीज़। In type 1 diabetes, this is healthy and this is diabetic. This is insulin moves glucose to the cells. Insulin moves glucose to the cells, and this is the glucose, and the pancreas produce. This is the pancreas which produce the insulin, and similarly glucose is produced from the liver. They combine together and perform function. This is the healthy. Means there is equilibrium, you can see in this slide. But sometimes immune cells destroy beta cells in the pancreas. Immune cells Immune cells destroy the beta cells in the pancreas, and pancreas cannot produce insulin. Sometimes this is the pancreatic disease because pancreas cannot produce the insulin and more glucose in the blood. That is why in the blood the level of glucose increases. This is the type 1 diabetes mellitus. Another type is type 2 diabetes mellitus, NIDDM. Type 2 non-insulin dependent diabetes mellitus, majority onset diabetes mellitus, has a high degree of genetic predisposition. Usually type 1 is not genetic predisposition, but the type 2, which is non-insulin dependent diabetes mellitus, it is due to genetic factors. Generally has a late onset, past middle age, means over 90% case of diabetes are type 2 diabetes. Cause reduced sensitivity of peripheral tissue to insulins, because sometimes peripheral tissues becomes non-sensitive towards the insulin. That is why this is called non-insulin dependent. Type 1 is insulin dependent and type 2 is non-insulin dependent diabetes mellitus. Type 2 diabetes mellitus causes, you can see that the stomach and small intestine break down carbohydrates into food to glucose, because the our digestive system started from stomach, and small intestine break down carbohydrates in food to glucose, and in step 2 glucose enters the bloodstream. Here this is the bloodstream, this is the stomach. Here here the food is converted to glucose, and glucose enter the bloodstream. Step 3 gastric hormones promote insulin secretion in response to glucose. Sometimes जो gastric hormones होते हैं, they promote the insulin secretion in response to glucose, and insulin is produced in the enter the bloodstream. Glucose is unable to enter the body cells effectively. Sometimes glucose molecule become unable to enter the body cells effectively. That is why the pancreas produce insulin, but in type 2 diabetes the body is resistant to its effect. Usually the insulin produced by the pancreas, sometimes our body become insensitive towards the insulin. That is why the glucose increases in the blood and it become unable to enter the body, and in 6 point glucose builds up in the bloodstream, damage the blood vessels. As the glucose level increase in the blood and it blood stream, it damage the blood vessels. जो हमारी blood vessels हैं उनको ये damage करना शुरू है. This is the simple mechanism of type 2 diabetes. Here it started from point 1, that from point 1 you can see that our food enters into the stomach and converted to carbohydrates. Glucose, from carbohydrates it is converted to glucose into the bloodstream, and then some gastric hormones promote the insulin secretion, and sometimes pancreas produce insulin, but in type 2 diabetes the body is resistant to its effect, because the insulin which is produced by the pancreas become ineffective, and the insulin produced by the pancreas have no effect in the body. That is why glucose in the body increases. As the glucose increases, The glucose builds up in the blood streams, damaging the blood vessels, and blood vessels are damaged, and it causes high blood pressure as well. What is insulin? Insulin was discovered in 1921 by the Banting and Best, who demonstrated the hypoglycemic action of an extract of pancreas. They were the two scientists, Banting and Best, who demonstrated the hypoglycemic action of an extract of pancreas. Insulin is a structure of insulin. Insulin is a two-chain polypeptide having 51 amino acids and molecular weight of about 6,000. The alpha chain has 21 amino acids while beta chain has 30 amino acids. There are minor difference between human pork and beef insulin. Pork insulin is more homologous to human insulin than is the beef insulin, because there are different sources of insulin. Insulin can be isolated from the pork, can be isolated from the human, can be isolated from the beef as well. Insulin is synthesized in the beta cells of pancreatic islets. The main organ which is associated with the synthesis of insulin is the beta cells of pancreatic islets, because insulin is synthesized in the beta cells of pancreatic islets. Action of insulin facilitate glucose transport across cell membrane. Insulin facilitate glucose transport across the cell membrane. Skeletal muscle and fat are highly sensitive. Insulin facilitates glycogen synthesis from the glucose in liver, muscle and fat by stimulating the enzyme glycogen synthase. Insulin inhibits gluconeogenesis from protein FFA and glycerol in liver. This FFA is the fast free amino acid. Fast free amino acid FFA and glycerol. Insulin inhibits gluconeogenesis. This is the disease which is produced in the body, gluconeogenesis. This is the condition which synthesizes different proteins, fast free amino acid and glycerol in the liver, and insulin inhibits gluconeogenesis. This is a very important point. This is the action of insulin. Insulin inhibits lipolysis in adipose tissue and favors triglyceride synthesis. In diabetes, increased amount of fat is broken down due to unchecked action of lipolytic hormones. Glucagon increases fast free fatty acids and glycerol in the blood taken up by the liver to produce acetyl coenzyme A. Normally, acetyl coenzyme A is resynthesized to fatty acids and triglycerides, but this process is reduced in diabetic, and acetyl CoA is diverted to produce ketone bodies: acetone, acetoacetate, beta hydroxy butyrate. These are the things which are produced uh, uh, during the diabetes, and these are the action of the insulins. That insulin causes different actions, like insulin inhibits lipolysis in the adipose tissue and favors triglyceride synthesis. Sometimes triglycerides are synthesized in the presence of insulin. In diabetes, increased amount of fat is broken down due to unchecked action of lipolytic hormone. This is glucagon. Glucagon produces increases the fast free amino acid and glycerol in the blood taken up by the liver to produce acetyl coenzyme A. These are the different actions which are taken by the insulin. Insulin facilitates amino acids entry and their synthesis into the protein, as well as inhibit protein breakdown in muscle and most other cells. Insulin deficiency leads to protein breakdown. Amino acids are released in blood, taken up by the liver and converted to glucose. This is the mechanism that how insulin facilitates the entry of amino acids and their synthesis into proteins, as well as inhibits the protein breakdown in muscles and most other cells. Insulin deficiency leads to protein breakdown. Amino acids are released in blood, taken up by the liver and converted to glucose. Oral hyperglycemic drugs. Now comes towards the drug which are oral hypoglycemic. Introduction. These drugs lower blood glucose level and are effective orally. These drugs lower the blood glucose level and are effective orally. The chief drawback of insulin is it is must be given by injection. This is the limitation of insulin, because insulin cannot be taken by mouth. It is usually injected in the subcutaneous skin, and that is why this is the limitation. Sometimes the drugs are used which are used to lower the glucose level in the body. These are called oral hypoglycemic drugs. Classification: enhance insulin secretion, sulfonylurea, first generation tolbutamide, second generation glibenclamide, glipizide, then megelotinide analogs, rapaglinide, netiglinide. Then there is a glucagon like peptides 1, GLP-1 receptor agonist, injectable drugs like exenatide and liraglutide, dipeptide peptidase 4 inhibitors like sitagliptin and vildagliptin. These are the different classification of drugs which are being used orally for the to control the diabetes. Then overcome insulin resistance, they used biguanide, metformin, and thiazolidinones, PPAR activators, and pioglitazone. These are used to come the insulin resistance. Then there are miscellaneous anti-diabetic drugs like alpha glucosidase inhibitors, acarbose, migilitol, and voglibose, and sodium glucose transport SGLT2 inhibitor, that is dapagliflozin. These are the different drugs which are used. These are miscellaneous anti-diabetic drugs. Drugs which enhance insulin secretion are sulfonylurea, KATP channel blockers. Mechanism of action: sulfonylurea provoke a brisk release of insulin from the pancreas. Sometimes a drug can be used when the insulin is जब हमारा pancreas insulin नहीं बना रहा होता, then sometimes drugs are used for the secretion of insulin from the pancreas. This is the mechanism of action. Sulfonylureas provoke a brisk release of insulin from the pancreas. In this slide you can see that how sulfonylurea drugs affect on the SUR subunit, and then beta cells, and then FFAs, and then insulin secretion, and then epinephrine, norepinephrine, then glucose, amino acids, fatty free amino acids. Means these are the different process which are going to be held. There's ATP sensitive potassium channel and depolarization, voltage sensitive calcium channel blockers, and then potentiation, insulin rich secretory granules. These are different. That ATP is going to be G6 pyrophosphate glucose, glucokinase enzymes are used in which glucose is converted uh, into different products in the body. And similarly incretin, GLP-1, and then adrenogenic receptors, epinephrine, norepinephrine. These are different cells which are used in the process of sulfonylurea. Sulfonylurea drugs have a great effect on the ATP. That here they are also potassium channel blocker and calcium channel blockers. Sometimes due to their effect on the calcium and potassium, they cause severe arthritis. That is, these are the side effects of sulfonylurea drugs. But insulin secretion is only happen due to sulfonylurea drug. Adverse effect of sulfonylurea causes hypoglycemia and hypersensitivity, because drugs causes hypoglycemia. Sometimes over secretion of insulin causes hypoglycemia. Hypoglycemia means low blood sugar, and hypersensitivity. This is the adverse effect of sulfur. Majorly night analogs के ATP channel blockers MOA release of insulin from the pancreas. Drugs are rapaglinide, netiglinide. They induce rapid onset short lasting insulin release administered before each major meal to control postprandial hyperglycemia. These are used for the administration of postprandial hyperglycemia. Then glucagon like peptides, GLP-1 receptor agonist. GLP-1 is an important incretin released from the gut in response to ingested glucose. It induces insulin release from pancreatic beta cells, inhibits glucagon release from beta alpha cells, slows gastric emptying and suppresses appetite. Drugs available are exenatide, liraglutide, Victoza. These are different drugs which are used as glucagon like. Then dipeptide peptidase 4 inhibitor DPP4. DPP4 is a rapid degradation of endogenous GLP-1. Orally active inhibitors of DPP4 have been developed as indirectly acting insulin secretagogues like sitagliptin, vildagliptin, and saxagliptin. These are different drugs which are used as DPP4 inhibitors because diabetes caused by different mechanisms like DP4 inhibitor, alpha glucosidase inhibitors, beta glucuronidase inhibitors, alpha amylase. A lot of enzymes are involved in the onset of diabetes. Drugs which overcome resistance. This is bigonide, Finformin, higher risk of lactic acidosis, banned in India since 2003. Metformin, enhanced insulin mediated glucose uptake and disposal in skeletal muscle and fat. Adverse effect lactic acidosis, that's intolerance, means there sometimes patients have intolerance towards the drug. Thiazolidinedione PPAR agonist, pioglitazone. Glitazones tend to reverse insulin resistance by enhancing GLUT4 expression and translocation. Entry of glucose in the muscles and fat is improved. Rosiglitazone is banned in India due to unacceptable increase in risk of myocardial infarction, CHF, stroke, and death. Then there is alpha glucoside inhibitors. Acarbose inhibits the alpha glucosidase, the final enzyme that for the digestion of carbohydrates in the brush border of small intestine mucosa. Flatulence, abdominal discomfort, and loose stool are produced in about 50% patient due to fermentation of unabsorbed carbohydrates. Acarbose, this is the structure of acarbose, and this is oligosaccharide. From the starch oligosaccharide acarbose, this is the glucose and this is alpha glucosidase. It is going to bind with the alpha glucoside. That way when it inhibits the alpha glucosidase, then the glucose level in the blood can be regulated. Sometimes sodium glucose co-transport SGLT inhibitors. Practically all the glucose filtered at the glomerulus is reabsorbed in the proximal tubules. The major transporter which accomplishes this is SGLT2. Inhibition of SGLT2 induces glucosuria and lower blood glucose in the type 2 diabetes as well as causes weight loss. Sometimes weight loss occur. And then there's a new patients of diabetes. This is a flow sheet diagram how it is diagnosed that type 1 diet plus insulin can be controlled, type 2 diet plus exercise plus met, unless if you are giving some uncontrolled, sometimes it become controlled. If it's uncontrolled, then you are using uncomplicated well nourished obese. Then metformin, one drug. Then as to megetrol, DP4 inhibitor, alpha glucoside inhibitor. Then if it is controlled, okay. Then if not controlled, uncontrolled, then you have to add other drug, DP4 and inhibitor. These are the flow chart. Means if you diabetes 1 can be type 1 can be controlled with the diet and insulin, but type 2 is the very dangerous, and a lot of drugs are being used for its control. These are recommended books of medicinal chemistry. You can use these books for your understanding. If you have any questions, you can ask me, and let the session open for question. Allah Hafiz.